The purpose of today's session is to receive a report on the environmental impact report and the comments and the project overall. It is not a decision meeting at all. There'll be no decisions that'll be made here today. It's a time for us to ask questions, and it's a time for us to hear from the public on comments. I think that the original presentations by the city and the consultants is going to take about 3 hours, and then we will have a short break. My understanding is that we had this issue about whether to give you guys, the audience, a long break to go and find food, but I think we're bringing food here for you, so there is such a thing as a free lunch, free dinner. And then we'll move, continue on the meeting as long as it takes. I am going to follow what I've tried to do since I've been the mayor, and that is to allow 3 minutes. That's the normal time. But I'm also going to encourage people that they don't need to take the 3 minutes. So if somebody's prepared a 3-minute statement, I don't want to, spring a surprise and say it's just 2 minutes and have you figure out what to do or get together with somebody else. So that's worked out really well lately. When we had the last session that had a lot of people there, it averaged about a little over a minute, and I'm cautiously optimistic that we can do that tonight. So with that, I think it's time to turn it over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor Mahoney, Chair Sun. Just want to explain really briefly how we're going to structure the presentation.
Mike.
Is my mic? Oh, is my mic on?
No.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to explain briefly how the presentation is structured. We will lead off with Dan Whisenhunt from Apple, who will present the overall project. We then move to Adam Weinstein from the city's consultant, LSA, who will explain the environmental impact report, and we will conclude with Jane Bierstadt, who is from Fair and Perry, the city's traffic consultant, who will explain the traffic impacts and mitigation measures. So I guess we will lead off with Dan.
My mic working okay?
Yep.
Great. Well, thanks, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Dan Whisenhunt with Apple, and it's great to be here today, first of all. It's been a long time coming. But I'd like to, before I begin, I'd like to thank the city staff for all the hard work that you guys have put in to make this special session tonight happen, and all the work that you've put in for the last few years just to get us to this stage of the game. It's very appreciated. So on behalf of all of Apple, I'm just extremely excited to be here today to share the many dimensions of this incredible project with you. I've got about 2 hours worth of presentation to give you, but I promise I'm going to try to condense it to about 20 minutes. So I'm going to do that by, we've prepared a little short video for you. Then I would like, if you'll bear with me on a few numbers I would like to present to you. And then I'll give you a little project background and then share some of the key elements of the project with you. So let's show this video to get things going.
I think we do have a shot of building the best office building in the world.
If you look at this picture, definitely the mothership has landed here in Cupertino.
For me, the project started in the summer of 2009. Out of the blue, a telephone call. It's Steve. Hi, Norman. I need some help. I was out there 3 weeks later. And look at this view. One of the most memorable things, and perhaps vital to the project, was Steve saying, "Don't think of me as your client. Think of me as one of your team." The first point of reference, I think, for Steve was the campus at Stanford, his home territory, and also the landscape that he grew up with. He still remembered it as the Fruit Bowl of America.
The idea is to bring California back to Cupertino. The site was originally set down in the 1960s and 1970s with a focus on building commercial buildings, parking lots, with some decorative trees. Very few of the trees planted were indigenous, and very few of them were even well adapted to the site. Our plan is to transplant the strongest of the trees on the site and augment them with even more resilient species such as oaks that are well adapted to our dry climate.
When Apple Campus 2 is finished, 80% of the site will be green space. We're maximizing the natural assets of the area. This area has a great climate, so 75% of the year we won't need air conditioning or heating. We'll have natural ventilation. Apple Campus 2 is going to run on 100% renewable energy. There'll be solar power. It'll be one of the largest solar arrays in the world for a corporate campus. Our goal is to build a campus that has no net increase in greenhouse gas emissions.
This project is pushing the boundaries of technology in almost every aspect. The facade will be new, the glazing is a completely new system, never been done before. The concrete structure is unique. Everything is handcrafted for this project. We have a building which is pushing social behavior and the way people work to new limits. How are people going to work in the future and interact in the future?
It didn't start as a circular building. It really grew into that. So the idea of one building with a great park was really born out of a very intensive process with many models, many presentations, and that process continues today and will continue through the construction, which will start rolling, we anticipate, this year.
Apple's always been in Cupertino, and we're proud to be here.
How about that? Yes, pretty amazing. Yeah, we do love Cupertino. We love our customers, and we love Apple Campus 2 just the same. I'm extremely honored on behalf of Apple to be able to be here and let you know that we've assembled a team that has the great opportunity to carry out Steve's vision for our new home in Cupertino. Very important to us. And it will be the best office building in the world. We've got the team here to do it, that's for sure. But it's so much more than that. This project will be one of the most environmentally sustainable developments on this scale anywhere in the world. It provides jobs, it provides new revenues for this city and for this community. It provides many public improvements all around town. And it also provides community benefits that are unmatched anywhere. And that's kind of where I'd like to start next. So bear with me, I've got a few numbers here for you. I want to start with job creation. Today, Apple has 16,000 employees across Cupertino. When Apple Campus 2 lands, we expect that to be 24,000 employees, all here in Cupertino. That's serious. In addition to our own employment, we support jobs all across the county that take that number up to 41,000 jobs. In addition, over the 3-year construction period, Apple Campus 2 will generate about 9,000 new jobs, most of which will be high-paying union jobs on our job site. In support of the local economy, last year Apple generated about $5.9 billion in revenue for local business. By the time the campus lands, this number is expected to be over $8 billion, a staggering number. As far as where our tax money goes, property tax alone with Apple Campus 2 more than doubles from last year's $25 million to $57 million upon completion of the campus. Annual city tax receipts go from roughly $9 million to about $13 million immediately upon approval of the campus. So the city sees this benefit just next year. The construction also will generate about $45 million in one-time revenues for the city, and that's just solely from property sale, construction tax, and construction fees. Apple's also committed to investing over $73 million in community benefits. $60 million of that will be addressed toward traffic and roadway improvements, landscaping improvements, utility upgrades, utility improvements, and then the balance of that will be contributions toward affordable housing and public parklands. So all combined, this package represents unprecedented revenues for this city and for this community, and we believe what comes with that is great opportunity. So let me give you a little bit of background about the campus. As I mentioned, we're 16,000 people today in Cupertino, and we're spread over 80 buildings around town. Most of you know our Infinite Loop campus on 280 in De Anza. That only holds 3,000 people, so we're spread everywhere. In the last couple of years, we've also had to take our growth out of town to the neighboring cities of Sunnyvale and Santa Clara in very large numbers. And very important point here is what's key to Apple's success is collaboration. It's one of Apple's greatest strengths, and it's the cornerstone of our ability to innovate great products. So what we want to do is keep engineering groups and creative groups together, and we'd like to keep them together in Cupertino and do it on our new site, which is the site just up on the right of your screen up there. So that's our goal with Apple Campus 2, is to create a new home for 13,000 employees. And you can be sure that following Steve's lead, we've used the same care and meticulous attention to detail that we put in every single Apple product. And this has shown itself from the master planning effort down to the creation of the curved glass, all the way to the detailing of the sprinkler heads. That's how Steve worked, and that's how this team has been working. So a few years ago, we purchased 176 acres, this site right here, that is bounded by Wolf Road, Homestead, Tantowel, and 280. It includes the former campuses of HP and Compaq. And today what you see there are 26 buildings, comprising 2.6 million square feet, and basically it's a bunch of outdated buildings and a sea of asphalt. The good news is it's a great site. This site today can accommodate, it's got the roadway and infrastructure to accommodate nearly 10,000 employees even today. The site's located in the North Valco area of Cupertino, which is a very nice mixed-use neighborhood, and it's designated in the city's general plan for corporate uses that produce jobs and revenue. That's exactly how we want to use this site. What we'd like to do is transform all those outdated buildings into a single, unified, secure campus surrounded by beautiful green parkland. We want this campus to represent we want it to speak loudly of Apple's values of innovation, simplicity, and beauty. The campus will be the cornerstone of the campus will be a single research and development building surrounded by open space, grasslands, fruit tree orchards, and lots of trees. You can see here a couple of shots of the building. But also, we're paying a lot of attention to the perimeter condition and creating a wonderful park setting all around the perimeter for the community to enjoy. So here's our starting point. Today, 20% landscaped, 140 acres of asphalt and concrete. We want to completely change that by putting our parking underground and in a lovely parking structure. We've been able to add 100 acres worth of green space and landscaping to nearly quadruple the landscaped area on the site. So what we want to create there is literally a landscape of the future. So our arborists and landscape architects have selected plants and trees that actually can adapt to climate change. We've selected many drought-tolerant and native plants to minimize the amount of water that's consumed to irrigate these plants. We also have deep landscape berms, deep landscape setbacks all around the perimeter that are heavily landscaped, heavily wooded with mature trees and berms that really obscure the buildings. And as you can see, the landscape design is truly inspired by the beautiful West Valley foothills and reminiscent of Santa Clara Valley of days gone by. So trees, let's talk trees. A passion that we have at Apple is about trees. We've got one of the best arborists in the area working on this project. Today, about 4,500 trees on that site. We want to augment that, take it to 7,000 trees. And we're going to do this by transplanting a lot of the specimen trees from the interior. And we're going to add thousands of new young and mature shade trees all across the site. Here's a couple of shots of some of the trees that we have today growing and being maintained at nurseries all around the state. A beautiful oak being prepared for transplant. New oak trees, olive trees. There will be a tremendous diversity in this landscape. Over 300 unique species of plants and trees throughout the campus. Again, designed to minimize water consumption. So let's take a closer look inside the campus. About 4 years ago, we selected one of the world's greatest architectural firms, Foster & Partners, as the architects for the project. And since that time, Foster has brought their global leadership in sustainable design and progressive architecture to help us realize our goals. And the most important goal of that has been to help us realize Steve's vision for our new home in Cupertino. We've also been working over that same time with one of the world's most renowned landscape architects, Lori Olin & Partners, who have created just stunning parklands and landscapes that enhance this entire community. So let me orient you to the site. You see the main building, the main ring in the middle, our parking structure to the south along 280, our corporate auditorium, the corporate fitness center in the northwest corner of the site. Keep going here. There's our transit center and visitor entrance plaza there along Tantowel, and some research facilities along Tantowel. Here is the heart of the campus, though. It's a signature 2.8 million square foot ringed glass building. Absolutely stunning architecture. What this building allows us to do is take 13,000 of those engineering and creative types and put them in one location under one roof, thus creating the idea factory that will lead to generations of new Apple products for the years to come. One shot of the interior there, the interior courtyard. And then up on the hill between the main building and the parking structure is our corporate auditorium. And this is a very important facility for us because what it allows us to do is take the product launches and special events that we do in San Francisco and beyond today and bring it home to Cupertino. We think this is it's a great thing for us. We think it's a great thing for Cupertino. And we think there'll be a very positive spillover effect for the local businesses in the area. A couple more shots of the corporate auditorium inside the lobby. Then a key feature of our campus project is our transit center. So this transit center is located at a very priority spot right next to the building on the east side that makes it very attractive for our employees to take part in the various transit services that we offer. The commuter coach program is the hallmark of that transportation program. It's one of the industry-leading programs, and what we do with this, you've probably seen some of these gray buses around town. We go out and we pick up employees all around the Bay Area. We bring them to our transit center, and we get them out of their cars. So this has had a drastic reduction in peak hour automobile trips since we started the program years ago. So today, what that program has allowed us to do is achieve about a 28% participation rate. That's in reductions of peak hour automobile trips. And with Apple Campus 2, we want to expand and enhance this program and take it to 34%. This is an aggressive goal, but one that we think we have the tools to achieve. And we're just convinced, we've seen this happen, that our investments in these transportation programs are the single best way that Apple can get cars off the road and improve traffic flow in the community. Parking, we mentioned that parking on site will be underground primarily, but also in this highly efficient parking structure. But our parking strategy has allowed us to accomplish one other very important goal during the construction phase of the project. It's allowed us to eliminate the off-haul of soil. So if you can picture all the excavations associated with creating that main ring building, we take all that excavation, we redistribute it through the site, creating the rolling hills and the berms around the site, and we achieve a balanced site. So what this does is eliminate all those truck trips off the site. It reduces air emissions and is simply better for the neighborhood during the construction phase of the project. In the parking structures, both of them will also outfit with hundreds of electric vehicle charging stations with provisions to increase that as our employees purchase more electric cars. The campus also includes a cafeteria that has both indoor and outdoor secured dining areas for the employees. There's our fitness center in the northwest corner of the project. And as I mentioned, along Tantowel, we'll have some new research facilities that replace the existing buildings along Tantowel with 600,000 square feet of new R&D buildings that support activities in the main building. There's also a historic barn on site called the Glendenning Barn that we plan on restoring and keeping on site and returning it to its original agricultural use in support of our landscape activities. So let me show you around the perimeter of the site. On Wolf Road is our main employee entrance. This is precisely in the same location that the former HP campus main entrance was. To diversify traffic in and out of the site, we have another employee entrance on the Tantowel side. All visitors to Apple will be directed to arrive at the Tantowel site, where we have a new parking structure and our visitor entrance plaza. Go back. And then you'll notice that through the site we've integrated a segment of Prune Ridge Avenue that allows us to create this secure and unified, safe work environment for our employees. This has been one of the primary goals of the project since the very beginning. And also, what's unique about the project is the perimeter condition. What we envision is creating a beautiful park setting around the entire circumference of the project that includes detached sidewalks, new trees, mature trees, landscaped berms. We'll have colorized bike paths, roadway improvements all around this segment. Really dramatically changes it for the community. So let me show you a couple before and after images that kind of represent this vision. So this is a shot of Wolf Road today, looking north. After the improvements, lane widening, landscape median. Here's Homestead Road, just to the north of the site. And after the addition of a tree-lined landscape median, detached sidewalks, etc. Tantowel Avenue will probably receive the most dramatic modification from its relatively stark view today. This is after we create a boulevard-like experience along Tantowel with beautiful tree-lined median. Again, the colorized bike trails, detached sidewalks, landscaping on both sides, a new bicycle pedestrian creek trail that offers some unique views of the Calabasas Creek. This is Valco Parkway, just across from the new Main Street development, and then after its improvements. But let me take you back to Tantowel Avenue for a minute, because this becomes the new front door for Apple. So what we've done at Tantowel, here you see what we call the entrance plaza with a view into our new reception building. And what this is, this becomes it's a very welcoming and wonderfully landscaped face to the community. This entrance plaza is a crescent-shaped area, very large. It can accommodate about 200 people, and it will offer some very beautiful views back to the main building, as well as to this very elegant reception building. And then right across the street, we'll have a parking structure and this parking reception building that has ample parking for all our visitors and guests. So Apple Campus 2 also represents our continued leadership and innovation in environmentally sustainable design across many dimensions. Here's a couple of the areas I'd like to mention. Alternative transportation. Again, 1/3 of our employees will be arriving each day by way of alternative means of transportation. Energy efficiency. These buildings will be designed to be the most energy efficient using technologies, daylight technologies, natural ventilation, radiant cooling, LED lighting, smart controls to allow us to reduce the energy consumption on these buildings by 30% over your typical R&D building across the valley. Just like at Infinite Loop, we're committed to using 100% renewable energy at this project. Nobody's done that on this scale. We'll do that by generating most of that renewable energy on site with our fuel cell plants and our rooftop photovoltaic plants. With the drought-tolerant landscape, we will dramatically reduce the water consumption on this site. And we also plan to use recycled water from a new line that's being constructed just to the north of the site by the Santa Clara Valley Water District. And as I mentioned, we'll reuse all the excavations on site, plus deploy the cleanest construction technologies to reduce the emissions of this site from day one. And of course, the project will be LEED certified and will exceed all the sustainability requirements set forth by the Cupertino Green Building Ordinance. So here we are. Let me give you a quick update on where we are in the planning process. Today represents a huge milestone for Apple Campus 2 and the opportunity for the city to conclude its environmental review of the project. And in 2 weeks from tonight, on October 15th, we look forward to the council approving our project and then beginning construction very shortly thereafter. We think to construct this beautiful building, it'll take about 32 months, creating an opportunity to start occupying the building in 2016. And we're very excited about that. One thing I'd like to do is finish by thanking the council and the commission and the city staff. But also I'd like to sort of have a special reach out to the Cupertino community. We've done some incredible things, especially over the last year and a half, to try to educate the community about this project, about the many wonderful dimensions of it, about the areas of concern. And we've done this by having lots of informative gatherings, over 150. We've sent out 80,000 pieces of direct mail and brochures that try to let you know where we are every step of the way. And we've had an overwhelming response. This little chart shows the over 2,500 heartfelt, positive responses that we've gotten from the community thus far. And as you can see, they spread over every corner of Cupertino and into the neighboring communities of Sunnyvale and Santa Clara. And reading these responses is just a wonderful thing to have done. So I'd just like to take a moment and see if any of these people are here. So if you came here in support of the project tonight, would you do me the favor and please stand up? Wow. So again, it's all of you guys that I would like to thank, and I really appreciate that you've believed in Apple Campus 2 and everything that we've been doing since the beginning. So in closing, I would just like to say that we are certain that Apple Campus 2 represents the kind of 21st century work environment that is inspirational. It will create a workplace that allows our employees to work, to create, to collaborate, and continue to change people's lives by making the great products that we do. And we really look forward to moving forward with the project, starting construction, and I can envision in 2016 when we do the ribbon cutting on this thing, I would love to invite you all there for a community day so you can help us celebrate. So with that, thank you very much and appreciate your support.